If you're curious about Ravencoin, you're in the right place. Caw, caw. I couldn't resist. I just couldn't resist. So I'm going to get into it with you why I got this altcoin, why I think it is magical. Before we go any further, anything I say here, this is just my personal opinion. Do your own due diligence. This is not investment advice. Cryptocurrencies are highly volatile. You can make a lot and you can lose everything. So the other day I came across Ravencoin. I'm going to share my screen with you now so that and I will try not to caw along the way. It's just something with it. Okay, here we go. Bear with me as I pull up my chart of my experience so far. So this is in my Coinbase tracker. I am in love with this software because I'm not the most brilliant at math, and trying to figure out these numbers is quite challenging. So I use CoinTracker.io. If that's something you're interested in, I do have a referral link in my description below, and you'll see Ravencoin right down here. And I mean, so I just got this earlier this week. I think I just got this 3 days ago. I got it 3 days ago, and I got it at 7 cents. I have to look at the exact amount, like it was in the low sevens that I got it in. And but I'll look when I'll take you over to my Binance US account in a minute. And now you can see right now it's 15. It hit a high of 17 cents today. I wish I had more of this. I mean, I'm new to crypto investing. I've only been doing this for 6 weeks, and the majority of everything that I've put in so far, as you can see from above, has gone into the graph. I am going to be doing another video on graph very soon. I am hodling it. I'm not letting go of it. I know that graph is going a little bit sideways right now, but I have 100% faith in it. So with Ravencoin here, so I was like, I can't put any more in. No more money is going into anything right now. I'm doing my dollar cost dynamic investing at the moment, where I put a little bit in each week. Well, it's been more than a little bit because I get so excited by it and I keep seeing all these great altcoins. But there's something about Raven that just stood out to me, and already you can see I am at a 100% return, right? So I put in $100. I've got 1,364.8338 Raven, and I already have within, I'll give you the exact number afterwards, whether it was two to 3 days at 100% there, 100.70%, which is a pretty astounding return. I did not expect that quite that fast. So let me just go over here. I want to show you when I'm making a decision of whether to invest into something and to build something out of my portfolio. I was practicing doing some day trading, but then when I started going into where I just showed you the coin tracker there, and I was doing my taxes, every time that you do a day trade, you have to pay that tax right away. It ends up, if you're a US citizen anyway, I mean, and again, do your own due diligence. But from what I learned was that when you make a sale on that particular crypto, it is property, it is then taxed as capital gains tax, and so that would go under a short-term capital gains tax, which is quite a bit higher than long-term when you're holding for 12 months or longer. So I'm trying to focus a little bit more on hodling right now, although I did play a bit with day trading. I think day trading is really great for people that they're doing the leverage trading, and that is very limited for one as a US citizen. Kraken allows 5 times leverage trading, and that's the only exchange that I know of that is legal to do that. So as you can see here, I mean, it's got a pretty awesome market cap, right, for a coin that I just bought at 7 cents, that is now right now 15, had a high of, let's see here, of look at this, it hit almost close to 18 cents. It's incredible. I mean, who would have thought that would have happened? So, or maybe you did think that, right? If you're already in the Raven community. The market cap here is 1.185 billion, which is, I mean, it's no small amount here. And the fact that even it has a 7% dominance within the crypto space, within the marketplace. I mean, I feel very bullish, very excited about this coin. And I want to show you afterwards some of the deeper research I did. I know that there have been a couple of negative things out there, and I want to address that and why, even despite the negative things that are out there, that I still went ahead with it anyway. Okay, so let's see here. So we've got right now, within a 24-hour period, it's gone up 50.4%. But I mean, look at the 30-day, 723.6% return. I mean, that's astounding. One thing I will say that I have learned from my experience is that when you have a very steep rise and increase within a 24-hour period, it is better to let things cool off, because there typically is a retracement. Let me just go into Binance here and just show you. So here we are. This is in my Binance account, and this is just the basic chart. Yeah, under trading, when you trade in Binance US, you can use basic or advanced. I just like this for looking at everything in the chart. But if you're watching this right now, it's like, wow, oh my gosh, and there's this fear of missing out. I just encourage you to hang on and wait. Let me just, where are we in terms of the time? I might go into the other chart afterwards to show you the advanced chart. But look at this here. I mean, up at 19.6 there. And now we are retracing, right? We are retracing. So it went quite parabolic. And then I think one calls this a double. Again, I'm not brilliant with the trading terms here, but it's looks a little bit like a double blow off top, and then it's come down. You can tell me in the comments, let me know what the correct terminology is. But I think now that we are going to experience a little bit of retracement, I mean, it's holding pretty strong right now at around, you can see the support line here is around 16 cents. 16 cents. I mean, it's just incredible. And I mean, look at over down here. Right? I mean, just look at this. I mean, this was at 12 cents, and I bought in off over here. But I would just allow it to retrace a little bit, especially if you're considering getting a whole load of it. Let me just go to the advanced here in the marketplace here with this, and so that we can go. Let me just pull this up. Here we go. See, I've got it on my favorites. Here are my favorites. I've got ADA, Matic. I'm gonna do a video on Matic, and it's ridiculous. Look at this, Matic's up 29%. It's insane. All right, so Raven, here we go. Let's just go to this. I want to go to the chart with you here, and okay, let me just open this out. Yeah, so this is something always when I look at now of when it's going up, what I found is when I find a coin that I like, and if I see it starting to go like this, and I see any type of candle that is a green candle that is rising rapidly, I just go, take a breath, it's going to be okay, and I just wait. And then look, see, this is something that I've noticed over and over as a pattern in trading recently. When you have a whopping great green candle, it is normally mirrored by a relatively large red candle, and then this is where you start to see the retracement that happens. You can see this big volume here, and the volume's calming down. I mean, I just think Raven is going to keep going up. What sort of price prediction do I imagine with it? I mean, I just think that I feel like I don't see how it's not going to go to $1. Here we go. I just wanted to show you my Raven account here. When was this? This was on the 16th. I mean, it's 16th. I bought on the 16th in the around lunchtime, 16th, 17th, 18th, like 3 days, right? There we go. I got in at 0.0732 cents. And for just over $100. Incredible. So I think that even if you've just missed that move where it shot up to the 17 cents, it is still absolutely worth going and getting in there. And I'm going to talk to you about why. So let me just pop over here. Actually, a couple of different, here we go. Let me just move this down. Bear with me on this technical stuff. Which page am I at here? Okay, I want to show you something here about, this was an article from Cointelegraph, and they wrote this is how fast things move. So this was on the 16th when I bought, and actually I hadn't seen this article then, but I just, I like when I am sharing with you, I want to just do a little bit more of how I look at researching things, that due diligence is important. And this is from my days of when I used to work in corporate finance. So if we just go back, here we go. Let's just go over here to Raven. See, they talked about how Raven soared from February the 1st. I mean, it was 2 cents. And then it went to, it says, a high of just over 8.5 cents on the 14th. I bought on the dip, right, on the 16th. And when it came down, and then it came down a little bit more than, a tiny bit more than that. And then you'll see, look at what they said here. They said the next leg of the up move could begin, and there could be an upward trend 10 to 10.4 cents resistance. We went through that resistance, blazed through it, right? And because we blazed through that resistance, I mean, again, I come back to that there has to be retracement. There has to be. It says the next support here is at 44 cents. So I think, well, how quickly are we going to hit 44 cents? I imagine, I don't see how not. And one of the reasons I say that I feel about Ravencoin and what makes a coin successful is the community. It's very much the community that gets built. And here, let me just hop over here. Let me actually go over to this, over about Ravencoin. So here we go, the Ravencoin. What is Ravencoin? A digital peer-to-peer network that aims to implement a use case specific blockchain designed to efficiently handle one specific function, the transfer of assets from one party to another. So this is very much, this was a fork of the code of Bitcoin, and it is 100% open source. So it is absolutely trustless. And let's see here. I just love the whole messaging of it. For me, when I get something, besides making sure, does it have a good solid team behind it? And what is the use? There has to be some type of use for it. And Ravencoin does have a strong use. For me, I feel that cryptocurrency is a very magical space. There is something very esoteric to it. And I love this, where they quote here, they say, in the fictional world of Westeros, ravens are used as messengers who carry statements of truth. Ravencoin is use case specific blockchain designed to carry statements of truth about who owns what assets. So if part of your core values, your value system is about truth and integrity and being able to see things really clearly, having 100% transparency, then you will love the Ravencoin token. You'll be really into that. Now, I think that's what's really, really powerful with this, besides that it's got a very fast block time. I guess, the coin supply, right, where Bitcoin is a 21 million limited supply, this is 21 billion. But I would imagine, and I don't know the specifics of this, but I would imagine that would be to be able to have a more reach, making it more accessible, right? Instead of it being a store of value, it's something that would be used for everyday use. And let me just I want to take you to the white paper here that you can get from their site as well. And let me just scroll down to some of the things here about, so this is a full asset aware protocol level system. This, I mean, again, I'm not going to get into all the details of this now because I don't I'd have to, it's too much for me. It's too much. I'm studying right now blockchain so that I can communicate better with you and explain it in layman's terms. And I am a little bit proud here. I do want to, I'm just going to share this with you. I got my first certificate of completion, proudly presented to Joanna Garzilli for successfully completing crypto for beginners. So now I am versed in all these different things here, Bitcoin basics and buying Bitcoin, altcoin basics and trading and identifying scams. Very important to identify scams. So I'm moving on. I'm going to be studying away so that I can be more insightful here with you. So let's see here. Use of the assets. This is what I get excited about when you're looking at, well, people say, oh, it's a coin, right? When I see comments like that about stuff, it's just not fair, because I know that the people that who are validating, doing stake of proof for the network, for the founders, there's a lot of thought that goes into building out a strong tokenomics, to doing the white paper, and coins that would be considered SHIT coins would be that just they're looking to scam people. There's nothing behind it. It's basically like wearing the emperor's new clothes. And that, in my opinion, is not Ravencoin. Ravencoin is extremely thoughtful. So you can see one of the things that what I got very excited about and was oh yes, I'm going to get Ravencoin, even though I got a very, very small amount, but I was just like a yes, and yes, is because that you can use it for land deeds. And I think that's going to be very, very valuable in the years ahead, where we have smart contracts and we want to maybe be able to do for a rental of a property, for buying a property, for anything that has a physical use. I think that's awesome. I love that you can use your Raven coin for DC Comics. You can use it for energy credits, right? For utilities, and even for those in Europe, for physical euros. And my understanding as well is that it's going to be used as a currency, not as a currency, I guess you could say, as an exchange of a value, of an exchange for the Baltimore Ravens, which is pretty cool for their football team. So I feel like there's a lot of thought behind that. And of course, I'm really into the so representing a share of a project, right? They're doing securities tokens, tokens which represent a co-op, royalty sharing of profit sharing, representing virtual goods. Right there, we just talked about this, the Baltimore Ravens, a license to allow an activity, an access token to use a service, right? So if there's something for you that you really resonate with Ravens, I mean, I come from a metaphysical background. My background is as an author. I wrote a book that was published by HarperCollins called Big Miracles, the 11 Spiritual Rules for Ultimate Success. And I'm really into metaphysics, and metaphysics guided me to cryptocurrency. And so it'd be pretty cool, like if I was doing a psychic reading for someone, although I cannot do psychic predictions on this stuff because the market is so volatile, but if I was going to do a psychic reading for someone, I'd say, oh yeah, I would like to be paid in Raven token. I love that. That's just really magical to me. So that's you can use it as well for in-game currency and transferable outside of the game platforms. I love also that it represents a credit here, that you could use it as a gift card for someone, if someone's really into bird watching, right? And I don't know, their favorite, people have favorite things. Like one of my aunts used to collect frogs, anything that was frog-like, frog china. And my other aunt used to connect anything that was a pig. So one aunt with frogs, the other pigs. I mean, you might have an aunt that really likes ravens, and or someone, a loved one or a friend or a co-worker that's into ravens. Wow, give them Raven token instead, that they can go and they can cherish and keep, or they can go and spend away. You can use it for air miles, reward points, right? I mean, this is just so cool. And let's see, I wanted to talk to you a little bit. There was another quote here that they have. Here we go. I mean, they're working with co-ops, for example, where you could work with large organizations like Credit Agricole, Land of Lakes, Co-op Kobe, Sunkist, Ocean Spray. So they are, one of the focuses here is tokenizing co-op interests. And I think this is incredible for anything supermarkets, for agriculture, anything within that realm. Really, really, really powerful. And then they say here, in addition, since the tokens can be made either unique, limited, or fungible by the issuer, token project managers will be able to have categories of token holders such as Class A shareholders, lifetime social club members. Look, there's not just the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, there's probably many other organizations I haven't looked up that have Raven in them. And I just had this memory the other day after I bought Raven, when my son was very little. We used to play this great game, this board game that he was given as a gift by his great aunt called Raven. You know, when you have all the pieces and you put it all in the basket and then you go Raven. I mean, it's just super, super cool. And then the tokens allow easier issuance of small-scale public offerings. There's their reward system is strong. You can use it for unique tokens for art, for being able to look here for a software developer that they can really create a unique ID or license key which protects the token as well. And besides in-game assets, that it has unique assets that can be tied to real world value as well. And some of the unique assets include software licensing, car registration, proof of authenticity tokens to transfer along with items that could be counterfeited, and a token that allows communication on a channel of messaging. Let me just say this. I know that there was, I did a little bit of research and I saw that they were hacked. They were hacked last year and lost around 6 million of their 100 million of the tokens. And I saw someone post online that they said, oh, I'm never going to invest in Ravencoin because of that. Well, bit of a bummer for them because it's doing pretty well. But I understand for some people, maybe they're super, super cautious. But I just feel like that for me was not a deterrent to go ahead and do this. And I understand that they have rectified that since then. But yes, I know I would encourage you to read the Bitcoin, the original white paper that talks about addressing hacking and the process that's in place where you have a malicious attack. But each time it should be in the code that each time the attacker tries to go and steal, that it moves them further and further away. It makes it harder and harder for them to figure out what the code is for the key to unlock it, to take ownership of it. I love this message here. Obviously, originally I am an American citizen now, but originally being from Britain, messaging stakeholders. If the Tower of London ravens are lost or fly away, the crown will fall and Britain with it. So a common problem with token assets is token issuer cannot communicate with the token holders. This must be handled very carefully because the token holders do not always wish to be identified. And so that it gives you a certain amount of privacy. That's what's happening here. You can have privacy here. And, in this day and age where there is so much spamming, just to know that as a Raven token holder, you can directly communicate with your other Raven token holders. So I think that's awesome as well. They have a voting system here. You can see they have everything on privacy. I mean, I just think that, this isn't like, oh, it's some rubbish coin, oh, whatever, Raven, it's just some little thing. I think they've really focused on doing something and going, how can we take something that is so special and so rare as Bitcoin and make it more accessible for all, right? Make it affordable. So that is something that I really feel from this. And so I went and looked at the founders as well. I think it's important. One of the founders here is Tron Black, and it looks like he is based out of Salt Lake City in Utah. And he has done a number of different projects, right? Software development. And here I see right down here, one of his more recent ones, it looks like CEO of Verified Wallet, a neutral third-party verifier of trust, the real currency of internet commerce for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency users. So, and then also it looks like that he has, besides Ravencoin founder, he's also for Medici Ventures. He's a principal software developer. So I think, he knows his stuff. But again, you have to do your own due diligence. It's really, really important to do that. And the other thing here, in terms of the community, if the opportunity to be able to stake it, right? There's a whole nother, let's see, besides it's also a very fast block time as well. But hang on, let me go. Another reason why I feel that Ravencoin, in my opinion, if something's on Binance US, it's going to be good. I just don't think it's going to fall apart and Bittrex as well. I mean, some of these, a couple of these exchanges are very, very, very strong. And so those are the big ones that I look to. Paraboo is another one, I think, as well for those in Europe. But to me, if it's on Binance, then one's pretty good to go. And then in terms of the community here, you can see all their, to dive deeper into it, but being able to mine it, I think that is really, really important. And look here. So if, again, this is another reason why I'm just curious to understand more and more about the software development side of things. But Ravencoin here, you can, it is available consumer grade hardware, and it uses a new algorithm known as KAAWW, which I imagine comes out there. KAAWW. It's designed to be application specific, integrated circuit, ACIS resistant, and is designed to be efficient on consumer GPU hardware. I'm sorry, I don't know what GPU stands for yet. So you will need to look that up. But you can, to start mining it, you have to create a wallet, and that's not too hard to do. And then you choose a mining pool, and I can see here, look, I mean, there's, you can dive into this. And then while those mining pools, you can also mine Ravencoin with the following platforms. Here, I guess GamerHash is another one as well. But let's just take a quick look. Look, Raven Mine. I just want to see what this does. I haven't looked at this yet. And here we go. Raven Miner. Welcome to Raven Miner, globally distributed, fast and reliable pool dedicated to Ravencoin. And the payment methods here, you can see the payouts and the payments every 3 hours. And here we go. You can see all the, I guess, the hash rate, everything, sort of the speed it's going through. And just, just take a look at, start to take a look at this stuff. For me, let me just say, I've come into this space so recently and just immersed myself. So this is really just my, I learn as I go along. One of the things that I do is I just make sure that I do my research, and then when I'm not sure on something that I see, I have my notepad and I start to write it down, or I look it up. And let me just, I just want to share another thing with you again about, even though I am new to this space, I feel pretty proud of my accomplishment here of just again, this is like, we'll see what happens in the long run in terms of if my portfolio all goes to, if it all falls apart. But I feel pretty good in terms of, let me just move this to the side so you can see this. I feel pretty good in terms of only being in this within 6 weeks. And you can see here, Graph is my big one there, up almost 28,000. And Bitcoin here, I've got up over 2,500. Ethereum over 800. Harmony's up right now. I just did a video on that yesterday. I just did a video on Graph 2 days ago. Cardano's up. My Polygon's up. Raven is up amazingly. I wish I had a million Raven. new ciphers up there, all up. The only one that isn't up for me that I have right now is Dogecoin. And I bought in at 7 cents on that. I think it had an all-time high of around 9 cents. I know, I believe it's going to go up. I believe Dogecoin will go up to at least 14 cents. It'll go on another run. These things, like they seem to correct and then they come back again. And so, I think for me, what I've done as well is, because I did put so much into graph, I've just gone, okay, well, let me just do a little by little with some of these different coins. Anyway, the long and the short of it, I think Raven is fantastic. Take a look at more of what they're doing. Please let me know in the comments below what you think. What are your thoughts on Raven? Do you have it? Are you going to get it? Are you going to day trade it? Are you going to leverage trade it if you're international? Are you going to hodl it? I'm personally going to hodl it. And then when I have some more funds available, I'm going to start to put a little bit more into it, because I just think it is very, very, it has a very strong community, and the messaging, I think when people resonate with something like that, they want to have it, because the beauty of altcoins is it allows people to identify with you. When you look at a person's portfolio, if they want to share what tokens they have, it is a way, sort of like how people like different sports teams or different sports or different artists or different singers or TV shows. Again, with altcoins, it's a really good way to be able to just people right away. You have Raven, you have a good understanding of what's important to that person and how to interact with them. Thank you for being here with me as I go through Ravencoin, and I will make sure I'm going to share future videos on Raven as well to give updates that will be more succinct. I will become more versed in this. So please do subscribe to Crypto Angel Network. I appreciate it so much for you being a crypto angel, for contributing, being a part of this community. I really appreciate what you share here, and make sure to press the bell as well so you get my notifications on videos. I'm going to be doing another one on Graph. I'm going to be doing Cardano, and also like and comment, and I am sending you lots and lots of love, and I look forward to connecting you on the next Crypto Angel Network.